G'day everyone, it's Sam. If you're new here, nice to meet you. Can I be honest with you before we get started? I've filmed this class twice. I had audio troubles the first round, and I gotta admit, it's tough. It doesn't go for long. It's a short practice aimed at building stability. Stability through the arms and shoulders and the core body. We're only doing 6 poses in total. We're holding those poses for a minute each. Gotta tell you, it's a challenge. So if you're ready for that challenge, all you'll need is your mat. We're gonna get started. But before we do, can I ask you a favor? Watch my wrist warm-up video. I think it's in that corner. Watch that wrist warm-up video, give yourself a chance to warm up your wrists and your arms so that you're prepared for this practice. This is not something you want to just walk in off the street and start straight away. You want the wrists and the arms to be warm because you're spending a lot of time on them. And then once you watch that video, come on back and we'll get right into it. So now that you've watched that wrist warm up, I know that your arms, your wrists, you're prepared for this practice. I'm going to do my hardest to not talk too much throughout. We're just going to work to hold each pose 1 minute or 30 seconds each side, depending on what we're doing. And this is all about stability, and the idea is to try and remain calm in the sense of challenge. So trying to work on that equanimity if we can. First pose is going to be downward facing dog. So set your hands down, shoulder width distance apart, guide the hips up and back. And if you need to when you first get there, pedal and adjust through the feet. But once you've found a comfortable position, the idea is to try and maintain stillness. Allow your biceps to wrap up towards the ceiling, push through the inner part of the palm. And when you're ready, we'll be in the shape for 1 minute. Use this first shape as a chance for you to find your natural rhythm of breathing. Spread apart the toes, see if your heels can hide behind the front of the foot. Very slight internal rotation of your femur bones. So often I hear the cue used to soften your shoulders away from your ears in downward facing dog. That may work for you. I know for myself I prefer a little bit of elevation in my shoulder blades. It just helps to support my shoulders using the muscles of the upper back there. We just have around 20 seconds to go. Try and keep that breath nice and calm, nice and steady. We're here for 5, 4, for 3, 2, and on 1. We'll make our way to a plank pose, so roll your shoulders forwards. You may need to step your feet back. Give yourself about hip width distance between your feet. Squeeze your thighs together, squeeze your glutes, pull your navel in, and then push away from the floor so your shoulder blades are separating. And you guessed it, we'll be here for 1 minute. And again, the idea here is definitely to try and remain calm. And what we don't want is the mid-section to drop and you start to resemble a wet piece of celery. So continue to exhale to pull the belly in. Like the belly button was lifting away from the floor, like the thighs were lifting away from the floor. And you allow yourself to be in this sense of challenge. And you use the breath to try and maintain that sense of calm if we can. You have 20 seconds left in the posture. Pull your chest forwards a little more. Draw the navel in. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Look back to the feet. Shuffle your right foot to the center. Then fall on the outside edge of your right foot, stacking your left foot on top. From here, pull your chest forward so your right shoulder stacks on top of your right wrist, and reach your left arm up towards the sky. We'll be in Vashistasana, 30 seconds each side. So lift the hips away from the floor, extend that left arm up. If it's comfortable for you, you could reach your left arm up and overhead. Just know if that gets too much on the shoulder, you can reach your left arm down by the side as well. Wherever you choose to be, the hips are lifting, That right hip is starting to wrap up towards the ceiling. Both feet are flexing actively. And we're only here for another 5, for 4. Push through that right hand. 3, 2, on 1. Roll through a plank. Left hand will ground. Then left foot will shuffle to center. As you roll off onto the outside edge of left foot, right foot will stack on top. Flex the feet. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Lift the hips nice and high. Again, if there's space, right arm will reach forwards. And we're here 30 seconds. And just focus on the sound of your breathing. Let those hips continue to lift away from the floor. Glutes are firm. Belly's drawing in. We're here 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Roll through a plank to start with. Shuffle the feet a little closer. We prepare for dolphin pose. You may like to take the traditional mudra with your palms flat, forearms parallel. I prefer to teach and practice with palms pressing together. Gives you a little more activation through the muscles of the arms. So chin draws to chest, walk the feet forwards, work to stack the shoulders above the elbows, and you guessed it, we are here 1 minute. This is definitely one of the least favorites, especially to hold for a long period of time. If it's comfortable for you, interlace the hands there. Keep pushing away from the floor, flexing the muscles of the arms. Allow your breath to keep you in the pose. At the back of the neck, stay nice and long if you can. And we're here just for another 20, 19, 18, 17, lift the hips, 16, 15, pull the belly in, 14, 13, maybe you can see your own belly button, 12, 11, flex the arms, 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, keep pushing away from the floor, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees, sit the hips back on top of the heels. Wow, definitely the arms and shoulders are going to get pumped from that one. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Roll your shoulder blades towards each other. Just allow your heart to open here. Maybe the fingers can move away from the hips just slightly, promoting a little more extension through your shoulders. The chin to chest. Just move the neck from one side to the next. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Just let them sway by the side. Now, in a moment here, we're going to prepare for what is definitely going to be the least favorite. That's 1 minute in Chaturanga Dandasana, or low plank. Just know that it will be challenging and you can drop your knees at any time. And if I can let you in on a secret, I actually filmed this class already, but the microphone died, so there was no audio. So now I have to do another 1 minute in Chaturanga, which I'm really, really, really excited about. Not. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the audio works throughout. And while I've been giving this spiel, you've had enough time to rest. So we're going to come back via downward facing dog. And I already know what's in store. To be honest, it's going to suck a little bit, but that's okay, we'll do it together. Even space between your feet, hip width distance. Have the index fingers turned to the top corners of the mat. It just allows your biceps to wrap forward a little bit more. And if we can, we'll roll forward through a plank position to start with. Again, lots of space between your feet. Make sure your glutes are firm, belly is pulling in. Push away from the floor so shoulder blades are protracting. Take an inhale. Exhale, you lower halfway. And we be here. We just hold. Let your elbows squeeze in towards your body. There'll be a lot of shaking going on. That's completely fine. Just embrace it. Let your fingers do less here, and the base of your thumb, the inner part of your palm, take a little bit of the load. If you can, flex the muscles of the arms, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs, and pull your belly button away from the floor. I know I feel like I've got a vibrating mechanism inside. That is completely fine. If you can, we have 20 more seconds. You got it. Shoulders moving away from the ears to the best of your ability. Thighs lifting away from the floor. We're here 10 for 9. 8, chest is firing up. 7 for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good work. Take a cheek to the mat. Let the arms rest and untuck your toes. I'm going to finish off here with 1 minute in Locust pose. So start by flipping the palms so they press down into the earth. Push the palms down to roll the shoulder blades back towards each other. And from here, start to lift your legs up and off the mat. 2 big toes are touching. Legs are straightening to the best of your ability right now. And we'll roll the shoulder blades back. Float the arms off the mat. So this is going to work to undo a little bit of the work we've just done. And a lot of pushing away from the floor. Now we're squeezing the muscles of the back body together. And I use this cue so often to turn the palms out so the thumbs point up in Locust. So it's an external rotation of your humerus bone. And a lot of the time in class I see this happen. 270 degrees of internal rotation. So the cue I like to use is, imagine you were hitchhiking. How would you hold your palm out to wait for a car? And if you would hold your palm out like that, you wouldn't get picked up because people would think you're pretty odd, right? So turn the palms out, thumbs up, squeeze across the shoulder blades, lift the chest, lift the legs, and draw the chin in towards the chest. We're here 10 for 9, 8, 7, 6 for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release down. Bend up the knees. Let your legs rock from side to side. From here, you bring yourself up to a seat. That is going to conclude the work for today. So this is a great practice to put before your regular yoga practice. Maybe you've got some energy left over to continue to make your way through, but this is definitely going to work stability through the core body, arms and shoulders. And stability is something I often see students struggle with a lot, holding the postures for longer than 1 or 2 breaths. So definitely something to work towards. It definitely gives you not just a physical challenge, but that mental challenge as well. You might have a few negative thoughts come up, a little bit of frustration starting to build, but that's when we try and come back to the breath. We try and keep it slow, keep it controlled, and see if that helps us stay in the pose a little longer. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you would consider subscribing and liking the video, that would really help. Otherwise, see you again soon. Peace.